What is up, everybody? This is another episode of Evan Ranks. I am your host, Evan. We are. I don't want to not beat around the bush, but I still want to give you my little intro spiel here. I think it's kind of fun to do. I'll give you the title and then I'll do that. Evan Ranks, episode 7. UVA basketball's lost to Memphis. So another episode here. We are coming off of a really cool episode, a cool collab with my good buddy Hunter. I cannot thank him enough for popping on the podcast and, just chopping it up about the craziest sports contracts. It was a ton of fun. I will definitely have you on in future podcasts. I am greatly excited for what we have to come here. But thank you again, Hunter Walker, for popping on the podcast. That brings me to this current podcast. Like I said, UVA basketball lost to Memphis. I'm going to rank it. This podcast is brought to you by Walker's Home Services, where any job for Hunter and his dad are, honestly, a walk in the park. So UVA's lost. We started this game down 7. The game had started, we went a little bit, and it was 7-0 Memphis. It was rough. Let's start this way. Memphis is coming off of 2 really notable wins. They played Clemson at Memphis, and then they played UVA. So came off a Texas A&M win, which was both teams were ranked. They played Texas A&M at Texas A&M and won, and then they played Clemson at Memphis and won, and then they played UVA at Memphis. They are a pretty scrappy, physical, big team. They're just competing at a different level right now. They were 8-2, I believe now they're 9-2. And we were coming off of a poor Northeastern win. Poor win, mainly because, great, we were at the Friendsmas. It was a good time, but we weren't able to watch the UVA game, so it was rough because we played terribly. I didn't really get to watch it. So we came off that bad win and played this really good team that was just ready to play basketball, man. Final score was, 77-54? Yeah. We lost by 23 points. Our top scorer was Reese Beekman. He had 13. Theirs was a absolute freak of an athlete named David Jones. David versus Goliath, but he's Goliath with the disguise of the name of David. He had 26 points. We just didn't have a solution to him. I'm trying to see here. We shot 39% from the field. They shot 46%. Our three-point shot was at 21%. I have been saying it since maybe the second game, but if we don't make threes, we're not going to win. We're young. We're small. And the three-pointer is the best thing that the NBA has brought since they brought the three-pointer. 32 turnover, oh my gosh, I did that. I tried to record this earlier, and I did that again. 32 rebounds and 18 turnovers. This is a lot of turnovers for us. This is something irregular for us to do. We don't turn over the ball, but we did it quite a bit today. Our young guards really showed that they struggle to carry the ball up the court under pressure, face a physical, bigger defense, pass, hustle. I mean, I saw some hustle during the first half. First half, it was, I think, 38-32. We didn't play the best, but we were staying in the game. Our defense and tempo were, actually UVA's typical performance, and we've played down before. I wasn't alarmed at halftime. I was a little alarmed, but I figured we could crawl back. The announcer at the start of the game actually had kept noting, he was like, if UVA can control their tempo, they'll probably win the game. I think if we could control the tempo and make threes, we would have won the game. We I don't know why it's tough to say that you want Reese to bring the ball up every single possession because that just takes a toll on you, man. I mean, they pressed to start the game. They played physical defense. You can't expect one man to put the team on his back and carry you to victory every week. We don't usually do that, but at the start of the game, you knew that all of them youngsters were looking at Reese like, Dad, what do we do? None of them knew what to do. They couldn't play physical basketball. I mean, we were getting beat up on the boards, beat up on the perimeter. We played lackadaisical defense, just sloppy altogether. It kind of looked like they just didn't want to be there. There weren't really any great highlights in the first half. I mean, you do think about this from it being UVA's first like true road test. Wisconsin was in a neutral site. Most of our other games that were away were Florida was a neutral site. We didn't really play too many big name schools, big Power 5 schools at their home court. And this Memphis squad was ready to go against us, but their fans were in the game from the start of the whistle to end of the whistle. I mean, it was electric. I literally was watching from the couch and they panned like the stadium and there was one orange hoodie and he was just sitting there all like scrunched up, hiding so no one would like talk shit to him. I mean, I would have been doing the same thing if I hadn't left. I would have left, dude. You're in Memphis. You're in Memphis and you're staying at the UVA basketball game as they are down 19, maybe at this point it was like 12-14. I'm thinking like I called game at 12 minutes left in the game. They got that turnover and the dude, I'm going to sound like a grandpa, but the dude slam dunked it and the crowd went wild, called either immediate timeout or a regular timeout. And I was like, yeah, that's the ball game, folks. There is no crawling back after a staple like that. Turnovers were a problem. There was honestly a sole possession where if you're paying attention to it, Gertrude's like running around the court, like dribbling, like almost loses the ball, passes it to Reese. Reese does like a spin move and dribbles it around the court again. And I was like, dude, slow down. I've been having these epiphanies that I could be a basketball coach. I am no Tony Bennett by any means. I'm not saying I could have coached this game any better than he is or than he did. But I've been having these epiphanies that I think I should be a basketball coach. I played for years. I mean, as long as my development, I played basketball, which meant I learned, I regurgitated all that information. I had a great coach in Dirk Katstra. He played basketball at UVA. I played with his son at UVA. I mean, I had a tremendous coach teach me these things, and I feel like I could contribute to one of these teams coaching wise. But I just remember like sitting here thinking, why are we not hustling? Why are we playing like we don't want to be there? Like I don't remember seeing hustle from anyone outside of the first half when the tip off happened. Then Tane Murray with like 2 minutes left diving after a defensive rebound because everybody else is like, dude, game's over. What are you hustling for? We need to have that mentality all game. This team had that mentality all game. Jason Kelsey says it best. Hungry dogs run faster. Memphis was a bunch of hungry cats, man. Bunch of hungry tigers. Like, there's a slash in half court, and that's literally how UVA was leaving to get on the plane ride back to Charlottesville. Couple of things throughout the game that just I want to bring up. When we were still in it, Tane Murray is not the solution. I know I make jokes that Tane Murray's a GOAT and he can sometimes make shots, and I can say, haha, told you so. I mean, he had an alley-oop to Dunn. Could have been a better passer. He could have slam dunked it. But when you're in the first half and you need a sub to keep your stars rested and get some fresh legs or water, whatever the case is, do not, under any circumstances, put Tane Murray in. Please. He looked like a stiff rag out there. He couldn't dribble. He couldn't shoot. I don't know who I would say I would put in because you have so many other guys like learning. I was gonna say put in Bliss, but dude's young. Um, but he's not the solution by any means. Please go with a bigger lineup in Groves and Buchanan, but please just don't put Tane Murray on that court. Let him have his senior day when it comes, but don't put him on the court now. Grant Kersey was better than Tane Murray. I promise you that. Um, I'm trying to think what else here. All right, Gertrude. This is a hot take by me. Gertrude scares me. I I don't know if it was this game. Like I said earlier, Memphis was a scrappy, want to win, tough team. They played lights out, man. I mean, what's his name? Davis Jones. What's his first name? David Jones. Jones David. Oh my gosh. I am tired. This was a rough one to watch. But the dude had 26 points. He was a menace to UVA altogether. Um, but he just bodied them. I mean, they were a bigger team. We looked for Quinterly to play really well, and he did not have a great game. But even that FSU transfer, I don't remember his name, but we played him in the ACC. We knew how he played, and he still played bully ball Memphis and demolished us. But yeah, Gertrude scares me, man. I know we played good competition, is what I was saying, but him handling the ball in some cases, there were several times early on too when we were in the game where he made some sloppy passes, didn't hustle, dribbled into traffic. I mean, things you things you don't look for, excuse me, in a ball carrier come ACC play. I want someone fresh. I mean, I even thought like the the most positive thing I thought from this game was, and props to Tony Bennett for thinking about this, because the competitive nature that I am still wanted Reese to be the main point guard. But Rhodey, when he made that sloppy play on that turnover dunk, I everybody thought he was gonna get pulled. I mean, no more. You're done, dude. You're not playing in this game anymore. Bennett made him play. Bennett made these young guys continue to get beat up and play in this game solely for experience. Like, he had McNeely carrying the ball. This was my positive of the day. We love to give you positives amidst all the negatives. But he made McNeely play point guard against this scrappy team. He made him carry the ball, fight the press, get to the next man, cut hard. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see, if we're going to lose, let these young players develop. I mean, it's nice to give Reese his flowers and all, but let Reese do so from that supportive second man role, because we're not going to win. You want to keep him fresh and healthy, so you don't want him to run like crazy, but you still want to kind of stay in the ball game. I don't want to lose by 23. I'm not trying to get that notification on my phone. I don't want to hear about it tomorrow at work. I mean, I want to at least lose by a respectable amount. I don't want to get my butt kicked by 23. Um, yeah. So Gertrude scares me just based on his dribbling. I hope he improves. He did. I would expect to learn a lot from this game, but like moving forward, I'm a big future thinker here. You recruit for the future. Like, Reese was here for 4 total years, and he's been one of the really good UVA players to come out of here. But he's got a lot of work to do. That's saying something from my freshman basketball dreams, but Gertrude's got to step up big, especially after burning a red shirt. You can tell that he's missed 7 games, 8 games, whatever it is. Another key person note would be Leon Baum the third. Leon Baum the third. I like saying that, dude. He's got a nice name to him. What if I did something like that? Like, when I have a kid, what if I named him something similar? What would you guys think? Give me some comments here as to what my child's name should be. That's close to Leon Baum the third. But dude, that man's fadeaway is so nice. It's like Dirk-esque. He's gonna have a killer fadeaway, and that man will do some things at UVA. I promise you that. He's got that year. His red shirt's gonna be absolutely amazing for him. Um, Yeah, so that fadeaway, he got some crucial minutes, which I really enjoyed seeing him out there. Um, let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, the one thing for Memphis to note, I did take note of this. So Penny Hardaway has two things to help Memphis improve for the NCAA tournament. One is their full court on ball defense. I saw them, despite how lazy Rhodey is and how trash we played on offense, I saw several times them get crossed up trying to play defense on a full court press. You got to work on that. And also, the only reason we stayed in the game for parts of it was because their zone offense sucks. But as I would watch the tail end of this game after I solemnly decided to continue watching after I really wanted to turn it off, they have a in-season transfer. After 12 games, 9, 10, 11. He's waiting on a grade to be submitted from Kansas State so he can start playing basketball. Like he was sitting on the bench there. I don't know what his name is, but they're getting an in-season transfer that is apparently a high-quality caliber player. So they have 4 crucial players. And Penny Hardaway, if for some reason you're listening to this and you want to go to the Final Four in March, zone offense, on-ball press defense, and just keep doing what you're doing. Because frankly, you guys played a hell of a ball game. It was truly a disappointment to watch. I think the biggest thing that I think about, I mean, all of y'all know this is going to be a very low ranking because I am a UVA fan and I did think we stood a chance in this game. But what's going to go into a factor is just, I think I'm always a big thinker of if we lose to this team, I want to see that team somewhat be successful. I think Memphis is honestly a fun team to watch in basketball. I think they'll be a fun team to watch in March. But I think about how we can improve as a basketball program. We're young. There's a lot more developed. There was a time that UVA basketball wasn't always tremendous. We've been through these drafts before, man, but how can you stay as that top caliber team? I think for us, it's developing these young guys, but also utilizing the portal. So the portal is going to be a huge thing, not only in football. I know it's all over the news in football, but it's going to be a huge thing in basketball as well. I don't think it's going to be as big NIL money wise, but this Memphis squad of Penny Hardaway, what he constructed, was solely veteran transfers. UVA had some crucial transfers come in, but they haven't stepped up like they needed to. We really needed Rhodey to be that point guard number 2 this game, to be able to carry the ball, handle the pressure, and he sort of played like he was still playing the same league he was last year. Yeah, we suffered an injury with Dante Harris, but unpopular take on my part. I don't think he's the best person to take over for Reese. I don't know where you go from him, but we got to look long term. We got to look at the positives. I think McNeely, if he stays, which I believe he will, he should be he could be a point guard number 1. I know it's hard to make him a playmaker, but I think he could be a good one to rely on to carry the ball up. If Dante Harris is able to play next year as well and to the same caliber, I think he could be a decent point guard number 1 for us. But we do need to focus on these positives. It was a really rough game to watch. I did like Groves out there. I know some people were upset by my Groves comments. I like that he started. I liked how he played to start. Yeah, of course, the wheels fell off at the end, but so did the entire team. I don't think we can judge any specific player throughout this game. I think we have to take it with a chip on our shoulder for the next one. I don't have much more to say, truthfully. I think this was such a pitiful performance by us. Tony Bennett's probably giving them an earful. I would hate to be on that plane. Coach Bennett, I still have 4 years of basketball eligibility if you would like me to suit up. It won't be pretty, but I'm here to try to ball out for you. I would definitely be a hustler like Tane Murray. I think skill-wise, I'd be right there. But, yeah, let me get to the ranking because I don't want to bore you with sad UVA basketball statistics. Evan ranks UVA's basketball loss to Memphis. I'm going to give this our first one of the year. Sorry, I got the Marshall game posted up on my phone too. I'm rooting for all Virginia school here, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a one. Our first one of the year. That means that this was a complete and utter disgrace and trash basketball game that I will not record. Watch the rerun. Look at highlights. I will do none of the sorts. I will take this memory, throw it in the trash, and move on to the next game because guess what? We are a tournament team and we will be seeing you in March. But yeah, UVA basketball loss to Memphis is a ranking of a 1. That is so sad. Honestly, I'm in shock that I gave a 1 this early in the pod, but I think it makes the most sense for this game. Um, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I can't thank you all enough for tuning into this podcast. It's hard to get excited to listen to something when you know what's coming and that it's going to be a tremendous L to your face. But thank you for tuning in for my thoughts on the game and where we go from here. But that is all for Evan Ranks. I will see you all in the next one. Have a happy holidays and Merry Chrysler, baby.